Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And what we're going to make are actually coconut cherry butter cookies. They're pretty easy to make and they really taste good when you bake them up and get to eat one, okay? I want to start off right off that you can use your hand mixer for this if you prefer, or maybe you don't have a stand-up or you don't want to use your stand-up. So whatever that you want to use. It is going to require you to need 1 pound of butter, and yes, I did say 1 pound of butter. I cut it up into smaller pieces because I think it's quicker to cream that way. And also for the video, I like to move things along for the video so they're not too long. So I'm going to just put that into my mixing bowl, okay? And then I'm going to turn my mixer on and just start to break up that butter and start to cream it. Okay, I guess it would help if I plugged it in. Okay. Okay, now once that you break that up, what you're going to be putting in is 1 cup of granulated sugar. And I do want you to spend time creaming the butter, that pound butter, with the cup of sugar till it's really light, creamy, and very fluffy. Again, I move it along due to the video, okay? I'm going to warn you about the sound because my mixer can be loud. Now I just want to, kind of get to the sides of my bowl here a little bit and to the bottom with my spatula. And then again, warning you about the sound. All right, the next thing you're going to be needing is all-purpose flour, and you need 4½ cups of that flour. So I'm going to start putting that in slowly. Now you don't want it on too high of a speed because you don't want flour all over your kitchen. Now, you also are going to be putting in 4 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay. I'm going to raise my speed a little bit. Now it's actually becoming more of a crumbled state. I'm going to put the rest of the flour in. And now I'm going to put in the 4 teaspoons of vanilla. Now this is when you do have to become a bit patient because it's in the crumbly, let me show you, stage. We want to stay with it till it really combines and forms a cookie ball, okay, or a cookie dough I should say. So I'm going to just stay with it. And what I meant by that is, keep mixing. Okay, in a really short time, you're going to be seeing it all come together. I'm going to take the excess off my paddle here, and then I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Okay, and you can see how it has been formed. Then I make sure, of course, I mix it with my hands a little bit, but that you've got your cookie dough, okay? So I just want to clean up these sides a little bit, and then just mix it in with my hands a little bit, just to knead it for a little bit. Okay. All right. And that way you can see it. I'm going to put the whole dough on my countertop. Okay? In fact, I'm going to just transfer that from my flour bowl. Okay? But you can definitely see it. Okay, I'm going to rinse my hands quickly. And I want to grab a pan. Okay, sorry about that. And then I'm just going to lightly spray my cookie sheet or pan or whatever that you like to bake on, okay? And what you're going to do is you also, because you're going to need cherries, I have two different types here. I have the maraschino cherry that has the red dye in it, okay, or red coloring, I should say. And then I have the Morello cherries that don't have the dye. And I wanted to show you both because these cookies that I'm going to be giving them to the person, they prefer not to have the very colorful maraschino cherries with that coloring in it, and they like the cherries like this. So you'll need at least 2 jars. You're not going to use all of them, but you can re-refrigerate them and use them for another baking. Whatever you're going to use it for, or ice cream or whatever you're serving, you're going to be able to, use them again. So, but you want to at least have two jars, okay? Whether you get the red ones or you get these, you'll need at least 2 jars. But I don't think you're going to use all of them. I really don't. And then what you'll want to do is you'll want to cut them in half. And you can see these are quite small. These are cut in half. Okay, and then these are much larger, as you see. But anyway, cut them in half. And then what you'll want to do is just take your cookie dough and roll a ball, and about 1 inch or so, maybe a little bit bigger than that. You don't want them too big. If you do, you certainly can make them bigger, but you'll need to adjust your baking time. Now, you will bake these at 350 degrees, and they will take you about this size that I have the ball, about 12 to 15 minutes. The top part will always stay very light color. Only the bottom of the cookie will be brown, okay? And then just, like I said, roll that inch or a little bit bigger than 1 inch round ball in the palm of your hands. Lay them down. They're not going to spread out too much, so you can, you can put them, 1 inch apart or whatever. That's up to you. And then just take, your cherry, put it in the center, and with your finger just press it down, okay? Just like that. Okay, now I generally get about 5 dozen if I make them this size. If you make them larger, you're going to get less, logically. If you make them smaller than that, you're even going to get more. So again, you're going to decide how big that you really want them. But I get about 5 dozen when I do them this size. Okay, again, 350, 12 to 15 minutes. In the oven. Do check them because they can burn very easily, and you don't want that to happen. I'm going to rinse my hands again very quickly. Okay, and I want to show you what these cookies look like once they're baked up. And this is how they're going to come out. Now, I want to show you definitely what they look like without the topping, because we're going to talk about that in just a second. Now, you don't have to put a topping on them, but this coconut and the glaze really makes them, well, it tops them off. Really, it does. But anyway, you can see the size of the cookie, okay, of the different type of cherries that I just mentioned, and the bottoms. Okay, the bottom will be hard, the sides will be a hard cookie. Okay, now when you break into them, okay, you're probably not going to be able to see that, but they are semi-dense. I don't mean that they're, you know, rocks or anything like that, but you know, they have a bit of a chew to them, and they are a little bit of a dense cookie, but they do have a chew. And I don't know if you maybe probably can't see that, but let me try another one just in case, because people always say, you know, what is the flake on them, or what is, you know, the texture like, you know. But I don't know if you can see me squeezing it. It is chewy. It is a moist cookie as well as, you know, a dry cookie, but oh, it just tastes so good. It really does. Okay, now I want to grab one more that's baked up to show you. Okay, because I just destroyed that one cookie and I shouldn't have. What I generally do is I just take powdered sugar and milk. If you don't want to use milk and just have water or prefer water, make it to the consistency of how thick or thin that you want it. I like mine more on the thick side. I think you can see that. You will need, you know, something to put down on your counter for anything that drips off. Okay, now this is assuming once that the cookie has cooled down enough to do that. And I hope that you can see that. I just, you know, dip it into that sugar glaze of powdered sugar and milk. I take a little bit of the excess off, and then this is where you need your sweetened shredded coconut. And then I just take that and then drizzle that on top like that. And then you just give them a little bit of time to sit on that rack and dry and set up, and they will look like this. You can kind of see the cherry underneath them a little bit, the maraschino cherry, the red cherry, and the darker colored cherry under them. They really make a nice presentation. This cookie is great with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. They're great any time of year. I generally make them around the holidays, but this cookie can certainly be made at any time of the year, and I think you'll enjoy it. So there you go. You've got a coconut cherry butter cookie. Pretty easy to put together, as you saw me do. And I hope that you try this recipe. Now, if you try the recipe and you like it, well, leave a comment, because I always like to hear from you. Also, I would hope that you would only watch my videos solely on YouTube, because that's the only place that I put my videos on. And I want it to be where when you write to me, I'm going to be able to get that question or that comment and be able to answer you in a timely fashion. If the video's somewhere else, I'm not going to be able to do that, and it's really frustrating. I want to thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake, and if you'd like to subscribe, that would be fantastic. Give it a like or ring the bell. Boy, I'd really appreciate it. I really would. Now, the recipe will not be below the video. I'm sorry to bore you with this, but I say it in every video now. I no longer put the list of ingredients and directions. I hope I went slow enough and clearly that you got the recipe. So give this recipe a try. I think you're going to like this coconut butter cherry cookie. So thanks again for watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. I'll see you soon.